Hello YouTube, this is Miss Vindicat, and in this soft-spoken ASMR video I am going to tell you about the daily life in the Netherlands now with the coronavirus going around. You are looking here at the square next to my apartment. This is the Vismarkt in Groningen, like the fish market. Historical name, this used to be the place where the fish market was. And Groningen is a city in the north of the Netherlands. I've been living here for over 7 years and it's a wonderful place to live. The view is gorgeous, as you can see. And it's usually a kind of lively place. It's noisy, not as good for these ASMR videos, but oh well. There are farmers markets regularly every Tuesday, Friday and Saturday. And this is footage that I recorded this morning, Friday morning. It is the 20th of a police car. The 20th of March. And yeah, we're just gonna look what it means to live in the Netherlands. First of all, you see people around. Let me tell you about the situation right now. A lot of things are closed. All the schools are closed. All the restaurants are closed. For example, if you look at the right side of the screen, you see the building with, it says Capofino. That is a restaurant and a bar during the evenings. And as of, I think, Saturday night, was it Saturday? I'm kind of confused because I've been at home for several days in a row. And it's like, I don't really remember which happened on what day. Anyway, they're all closed. However, the supermarkets are still open, and I think they'll stay open. I mean, they're even open in Italy, where the situation is worse than here in the Netherlands. But like the normal stores, a lot of them have closed down. They don't have to close. It's not like a total lockdown or anything. They are allowed to be open, but a lot of stores decided by themselves that they rather close. So the farmers market is still here. I think there are a couple less vendors than usual, but it's not really that much of a difference. I recorded one of these videos as well on Sunday morning, and a couple of people commented on that video like, yeah, but this is Sunday morning and it's always quiet on Sunday morning. And well, two things. First, true, it's always quiet on Sunday morning. That's why I like to record these whisper videos on Sunday morning, and I've been doing so for, I don't know, years. However, it was extra quiet last Sunday morning. And secondly, it wasn't like I was hiding that fact. In that video I explain all that. I explained that it is Sunday morning and that is a quiet time. And, yeah. Anyway, I did think that it would be nice to give you a sort of view on what's happening on a different day as well. So I recorded this morning. And yeah, as you can see, there are people out and about. I guess it's a little bit less than usual. And I feel like you can sort of see that people are trying to stay away from each other. Not always. We're going to take a look. But I feel like sometimes you'll see two people close to each other, but then that will probably be people who live in the same house, like family members. And that like now there's these two people in the middle of the square, and I feel like the person on the right is sort of, yeah, he's going slower also. Let's see what happens. There's this meeting, one person, well, yeah, they are within a meter of each other maybe, which is not advisable. Yeah, so let me tell you a little bit about the situation in the Netherlands at the moment. The last update that we have is from yesterday in the afternoon. By that point, 18 people had died in the Netherlands. And yesterday they found 409 new patients with the coronavirus, the COVID-19. And in total, that means that we have now found in the Netherlands 2,460 people that tested positive for the disease. Now, probably there are many more people who have the disease because people are not getting tested. Only if the symptoms are severe and people are in dire need of medical attention. But if it's like a mild case, people are advised to stay inside and have as you know, just don't have any contact with other people. And so, yeah, that's basically what a lot of people have been doing. They're just inside. Either they are having a cold or maybe think that they might have the virus, they stay inside, and a lot of other people that are still healthy also stay inside just to be safe and also to make sure that the disease spreads at a slower pace. I feel like that is the main goal of our government right now. Like one of the biggest challenges is that if a lot of people get sick at the same time, the hospitals will get crowded, and that causes all kinds of trouble. That's happening right now in Italy, and it's also happening a little bit in the south of the Netherlands. That is where the situation is worst because of the carnival festivities. People were partying out and about for a while the disease was already here, and a lot of people got infected, and many people are now in the hospitals. And actually yesterday they brought several people with the disease to the city where I live and other cities in the north, because the hospitals here they can still deal with more patients, because here there are not that many patients with the disease yet. The hospitals are preparing, of course, because they know that that might change any moment. They expect many more patients. So they brought a couple of people here, and that way it is a little bit easier for the hospitals in the south. Well, easier might not be the good word, because it is pretty hard and the situation is hard over there. Now I'm just going to tell you like random things about the daily life in the Netherlands, just to give you a sort of overview maybe. I don't know if you're in the United States or in the UK. I think those are a little bit behind. Like, I feel like most countries go through a sort of similar situation, you know, it all happens sort of in the same way. And I think that the better a country is able to keep people apart, you know, do the social distancing, the better it'll be, because that means that there won't be like a peak of patients all at the same time. And I feel like that is what is most difficult. So yeah, as at this point, people are still allowed outside. There aren't any rules. Everybody is advised to, you know, stay away from each other. Don't touch each other. Stay at least like 1.5 meters away from each other. But it's not like, I mean, in some countries it's like you can only go to the supermarket and everything else is forbidden. We do not have something like that. Then let's see. yeah, there was this one village, small village, in the south of the Netherlands, and in a couple of days, 7 people died that lived there. So I feel like, I mean, I know people are dying, but just to realize that, it's kind of like, oh wow, this is really changing the world, guys. It is so strange and difficult. And then I think one important thing that we can all do and all help with, that is to stop hoarding. And actually in the Netherlands we are, well, I don't know if we are succeeding, but when the disease just arrived, people started to hoard like crazy, and then there were other people and they were like, oh, I don't want to hoard, but if you're doing it, then I'm gonna be out of toilet paper also, so yeah, let me hoard also. And then for a couple of days it was just, supermarkets were just, you know, cleaned out. They were just empty. And not like totally, but like toilet paper, you just couldn't buy that anymore. And there were just certain, yeah, in one supermarket I wanted to buy something nice to eat, like chips, potato chips. Nope, not gonna happen. However, people have been telling each other really well that we should not be doing that. And then there have been a couple of pleads from people who work at the hospitals, and they tell their story, which basically is they have been working like, you know, hours and hours on end, because clearly it's a lot of work and there are a lot of sick patients, and it's just hard to work at the hospitals right now. And then they've been working for like, I don't know, 12 hours, 18 hours, 24 hours sometimes. There's even one person who told us that she worked for 48 hours in a row. Then she could finally go home. So she went on her way to home. She went to a supermarket to get something to eat, and it was like basically nothing left. And people like that have been telling their story, like, guys, I don't know what you're doing, but hoarding doesn't work. There is enough food as long as everybody just acts the way they always do. And I feel like those stories have been helping. And also in the supermarkets, there are people, you know, on the speaker telling everybody like, do not hoard, do not hoard. And for the last week I wasn't being able to buy toilet paper. Luckily I had still something left, but I was running out of it. But then this morning I was able to buy toilet paper again. And I kind of understand it, because for a little bit I felt like, now I'm gonna grab like all I can carry because it's here now. But then I told myself, stop, you're not going to do this. Just grab one package and that's it, and you'll be fine. Just, you'll be fine. Think about all the nurses and the doctors and everybody that is working so hard right now, and do not buy that much. And then I didn't. So I just grabbed one package. I don't know. English isn't my first language. One package. Well, you know what I'm trying to say. And yeah, it feels good. And we'll see. I guess, I hope we'll do better. Then one other thing that the supermarkets are doing, what I actually feel is really nice, that is they now open 1 hour earlier. They open at 7 o'clock, and then that first hour of the day from 7 o'clock till 8 o'clock, you're only allowed inside if you're 70 years old or older. So it is basically an hour for the elderly to do their shopping. You know, a lot of elderly people have been afraid to do any shopping, any grocery shopping. And of course, some of them have help and they can ask somebody else, but not everybody. And they, you know, they are at risk. They don't want to get the disease because they're, yeah, if you're old, you just have a higher chance of dying from it. And also, you know, if you're older, you might be able to not be able to walk as fast anymore. So you're kind of at the grace of other people around you to not approach you. And I can totally understand that that feels vulnerable. So I think it's really nice of these supermarkets to offer that. And I feel like that is a beautiful thing in this, well, hard time, during this hard time, that you see people helping each other. And, you know, even it's just the tiny things, but I think it gives a little bit of hope, and that is nice to have. And then also, if you have any elderly people around you, please see if you can help them out, if you can get some groceries for them, if you can maybe just have a chat. And of course, don't get too close, keep your distance, but just see if you can help somebody out, or maybe think about the person in your life that has a hard time being alone, and reach out for a bit. And I feel like people are, you can play games, you can FaceTime or some sort of call that you can see each other, and you can even play games like that way. Or I just heard a story about families where one sister just hands out these assignments every day. For example, today you're going to vlog about your day inside and stuff like that. And that is just, we sort of have to help each other. Yeah, I feel like that's what we have to do. So yeah, that's it basically. So let's see. Yeah, there are less people around, I guess. If you look at it now, you see some people on bicycles, a couple of people walking. There's one person buying something from the fish vendor there in the middle of the square. And of course, even this, I recorded this footage at about 10 o'clock till 10:30, something like that this morning. And it changes all the time, so yeah, sure, I don't know, but I feel like people are more cautious, and it's a little bit quieter than it usually is. Although I still feel like there are several people who do not realize the severity of the situation. And then one other thing, everybody that is abroad, every Dutch person that is abroad is now advised to return to the Netherlands. My own mom and my brother were in Malaysia until a couple of days ago. They returned on Tuesday. A bit early. They were supposed to return next Sunday, so the day after tomorrow. And another friend of mine just was in Cuba, and she returned on Wednesday, and that was just the day that she was gonna return anyway. But and then another colleague of mine, he was actually traveling through New Zealand with his girlfriend, and they were planning on staying there for 3 months, and they now came back early about, I think they've been there for 6 weeks. And the airport, even Schiphol, the big airport in Amsterdam, is, well, not totally closed down, but yeah, there are a lot of less planes arriving and leaving, and yeah, it's strange how life can just suddenly change, change big time. Yeah, that's basically what is happening. Then all the schools are also closed, and basically children are being homeschooled now, and that is something that we don't do in the Netherlands. It's not a thing. It's just children have to go to school, like an actual physical school. That's just the way it works in this country. Well, normally that is, because now children are being homeschooled, and schools are trying to figure out how that even works, because they're not used to work like that. So all kinds of teachers are now recording lessons and handing out homework and doing all these things to, suddenly change all the lessons to be at home. And yeah, then there is a lively debate going on right now in the Netherlands whether or not children should be allowed to play outside. I don't know the answer. I don't know. My son is 10 months old, so he doesn't play outside yet. So I think for me that is easy, because I don't have to decide. The official stance of the government is that children are allowed to play outside, but be careful, like don't let them touch each other too much. But then there is this doctor from the hospital here in Groningen, where I live, and he says like, no, just be cautious and don't do it. And also, children are not allowed to touch each other. Well, I mean, do you know how children play? They are all over each other. That's just the way they play, so please be careful. And if I look outside, I don't see that many children. Well, I do see a couple of them. So yeah, I don't really know. I don't know what's best. Maybe just be cautious and keep them inside. But I also know that if you have like a couple of children and they can walk, it's hard to keep them inside, you know, and especially if you have a small apartment. My apartment isn't that big, and normally I don't mind at all. I like it being small, but if you're just inside all the time, it gets a bit harder, I guess. And now I'm lucky because I have this balcony that's from where I'm shooting this footage. And that helps because I can get outside. I can get some sunshine, if there is any sunshine. Not today. And that just helps. But I figure that if you want to go outside, and you know, I mean, I live in this place where there's just many people outside usually, but I can go for a walk maybe early in the morning and go to the supermarket maybe at 8 o'clock, you know, just after the hour for the elderly, and then I'll be quiet. And then it's, I don't know, I feel it's good for people to be outside sometimes. Yeah, so what can I say? Life is strange and difficult. And yeah, it'll also be a chance to take care of each other and take care of yourself. And I don't know, I just feel like if you're at home and whatever your situation is, you know, it helps to just take care of yourself. Talk to a person, dress, take a shower. I mean, for me, those things are actually kind of hard. It's easy to not do them, to feel like, I'll do it tonight or tomorrow, and then before you know it, it's been 3 days and you've just not been taking that good care of yourself. So this morning I woke up, I jumped up and down a couple of times to get everything going. I drank some water, I made some coffee, and I took a shower, and I flossed. And I don't know, it just gave me a sense of purpose, a sense of that, I don't know, it made me feel better, even those tiny things. So if you're having a hard time, just, I don't know, reach out, leave a reply here. I'll be in the comment section regularly because I'm at home anyway. So I'll show up every day and I'll see, you know, we can chat here and, you know, find your tribe. And then one last thing, I'm going to link here a video of the Vlog Brothers that John Green made about being together and how important being together is for the world. And I just feel like it's a hopeful message for all of us. So go check that out. And then for now, be cautious, stay safe, stay inside, take care, and thank you for listening. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye.